Hello students, now is the time for our English language class. So today we will start a new chapter, a new poem, Swift Things Are Beautiful. It is page number 58 of our English language book. And Swift Things Are Beautiful is the poet of this poem is Elizabeth Wordsworth. So it is a poem which offers contrasting images of swift and slow things found in nature and asks us to observe the beauty in both. Actually, in this poem, Swift Things Are Beautiful by Elizabeth Wordsworth reveals that everything is beautiful in its own way. Although the title says that only swift things are beautiful, but in the second stanza, the poet also lists about some slow things which is beautiful too, which are beautiful too. Here the poet tells us how everything around us is not stable. That means nothing is long lasting and all are momentary, but all are momentary but beautiful. She wants to say that even though some sights disappear quickly, but these sights are beautiful and heart-touching. This poem inspires us to look around and admire the view and enjoy the beauty of it. As the momentary beauty will be gone soon, we should enjoy these flying moments. We may not get the chance to watch that moments ever again, and sweet things are lovely to watch. Okay, so today we'll start the new poem, Sweet Things Are Beautiful. Let us start to read the poem. Okay, Swift things are beautiful. Swift means fast going. So, firstly, I will going to read the poem, first stanza of the poem. Swift things are beautiful, swallows and deer. Swallows a bird and deer the animal. And lightning that falls, bright, veined and clear. Rivers and meteors, wind in the wheat, the strong withered horse, the runner's sure feet. So I am explaining these lines. Okay, actually swift things are lovely to watch. Swallow here, swallow is a fast flying bird and deer is fast moving. They both are fast moving, but yet it looks very beautiful to watch them. Swallows and deer, the bird swallows and deer. And lightning that falls, bright, veined and clear. As we watch lightning in the sky, it appears just like veins in our body. It makes us feel amazed. It is here the poet says that. Next, rivers and meteors, wind in the wheat. Actually, we love to watch and hear the sound of a fast flowing river. And when the meteor going to fall on earth from outer space, that make a bright line across the sky as it burns up while falling through the earth's atmosphere, and it looks very beautiful. I think most of you watch it. Next, wind in the wheat, the strong wind in the wheat. What is the meaning of wind in the wheat? Actually, wind is invisible. You can see the wind, but we can watch and feel the effect of wind. it can transform a wheat field into an wavy ocean when flowing fast on it. Okay, next line is the strong withered horse, the runner's strong withered horse. Firstly, I am explaining the strong withered horse. Actually, when a horse runs fast, its strong shoulders looks so beautiful. And here withered means ridges between the shoulder bone of a horse. It looks very beautiful, you know, to watch a running horse. And the last line of the first stanza, the runner's sure feet. It communicates the smooth motion of an experienced runner. When a runner's feet, fast moving feet, touches the ground, it is very beautiful to look, very beautiful to watch. So, I am going to the second stanza. Firstly, I'll read out and then I'll explain. And slow things are beautiful, the closing of day, the pause of the wave that curves downward to spray, the ember that crumbles, the opening flower, and the ox that moves on in the quiet of power. In the second stanza, the poet shows that that slow things are beautiful too. At the time of sunset, it is very mesmerizing to see the whole sky, you know. It is slow but very beautiful to watch. Slowly the darkness appears and the sun and the sunlights fade out very slowly. This is called closing of the day. Next line, the pause of the wave. When a roaring fast sea wave pause, actually between two waves, there is a short gap. I think when you go to any sea beach, you watch it. That's very nice to see. Just the wave obstacle by the seashore and sprinkles the water. It is very nice. Very nice. The scene is very nice. Next line, that curves downward to spray. These two lines means that the wave when obstacled by the seashore, the water sprinkles and it is very lovely. The pause of the wave that curves downward to spray. Spray means the water sprinkles. Next, the ember that crumbles. Actually, poet tells us about the beautiful glowing coals. Ember is here a piece of glowing coal. Glowing coal. The ember that crumbles. When a glowing coal slowly crumble to ash as the fire goes out, it looks very beautiful. Next, the opening flower. At the dawn, when a flower opens its petals slowly, but it is very lovely. It is very nice to see. It is time taking, but it is very nice to see the opening flower. And the ox that moves on in the quiet of power. This last two lines is very important. Actually, you know, a poet often puts the most important idea at the end of the poem. Here, the poet tells us about the ox. Ox is very slow but powerful, you know. Always we thought the power is similar to speed, like racing cars, rocket, cheetah, etc. But ox is an example of slow but powerful creature. So, this is the whole poem, and the whole poem was about swift or fast and fast and slow things in nature. Both are momentary but beautiful. Now I am going to read the whole poem once again. Swift things are beautiful, swallows and deer, and lightning that falls, bright, veined and clear, rivers and meteors, wind in the weight, the strong withered horse, the runner's sure feet. And slow things are beautiful, the closing of day, the pause of the wave that curves downward to spray, the ember that crumbles, the opening flower, and the ox that moves on in the quiet of power. Okay, so this was the poem, and that's all for today's class. In our next class, I'll discuss about the poet and the comprehension exercise of the book. Okay, so till then, bye.